Alongside Kendrick Perkins, Chiney, Ogwumike, Udonis, Haslem, I'm Malika Andrews, and y'all, this is the best time of year. This is why we do it. This is why we show up. We are here at the NBA Finals. You two have played in several of them. Perk, do you sleep well the night before the first Finals game?
I don't sleep well at night, period. Damn it, I sleep during the day on game days. That nap, I hibernate like a bear. But listen, the stage is set. The stage is set. Tell Snuggum, Aunt Mary, you know, Grandma Betty, all them. Hey, look, y'all got y'all tickets. Leave me alone, because I need to concentrate on the main thing. The main thing is I'm here to play basketball.
Yep.
I don't need no distractions. You got your tickets. You got your hotel room. Y'all straight? I'm good. Yeah.
Cut that phone off.
Yeah.
Cut that phone off.
When do you stop watching film?
The day before.
Okay.
I do not watch any film. Up until the day, once I get to the day before the game, I am locked in. I am eliminating all distractions. The phone are cut off. I'm not dealing with family, and I'm processing the game. And the way I do it is I play the game in my head as many times as I have to. And like Perk said, I might not get no sleep.
Queen's Gambit.
I might be playing the game in my head until 2 a.m. And sometimes I win and sometimes I lose. But I literally visualize every single scenario that I possibly could before I walk into a basketball game.
Look, 2 teams are 4 wins away. And we all know that this is the greatest stage that you dream of as a kid, to be able to have the privilege to play. The closest I got to a championship was watching my sister win one in 2016, and she always talked about how hard it is, like how difficult the games within the game. So right here, we've got strength on strength, iron on iron. It's going to be amazing.
You get the best of the best, bringing out the best in each other. And speaking of, just moments ago, I sat down with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I asked him, what keeps him up at night? What is the scariest part about this Indiana Pacers team? Here's what he said.
The fact that they're here. Like, no matter what your route is, no matter who's on your team, like, to get this far in the NBA playoffs, you have to be a really good team. And every team's going to have their strengths and their weaknesses, and they're going to go about the game differently. But to get to this point, you have to be a really good team. And that in itself is strong enough.
It's one thing to understand what they're doing and one thing to understand what you need to do. It's quite another to execute it. And that's what makes them really hard to play against. I mean, they pump a 99-mile-an-hour fastball at you, and you can, prepare all you want for that. But when you're in the batter's box, it's different when it's time to hit it. So it's going to be a very tall challenge.
Well, it's just about time to hit it, UD.
Yeah, I agree with him 1,000%. And this is what I talked about last week. What Rick Carlisle does is, and if anybody knows baseball, because he used the baseball analogy, a fastball can look like a changeup. And you don't know it until you get ready to swing and fall over the plate, because it didn't come 99 this time. It came 76.
Right.
And that's what they do offensively when you look at the Indiana Pacers. They won with pace and space, but a lot of their lineups look the same, and they're very difficult to guard.
Yeah, and I love that they're giving respect to their opponent, because all season long we've been talking about how the Thunder are the greatest defensive team, and now the Pacers, they have the 3rd best offensive rating in the play-by-play era in NBA history. This is one of the best offenses that we are witnessing before our eyes in real time. And so they're respecting what is real. And what I love about this situation here is you see the opportunities for people to scheme and tinker. I know Chet Holmgren will be a factor, but overall, I like the mindset. They're not playing around.
It's just so easy when you see, I'm sure the ESPN is on and all these TVs walking around the arena, and you look up and you see something like the Thunder have a 76% chance to win the NBA Finals. And if you're Indiana, even if you're OKC, trying to put on those blinders, Perk, and tune out that noise in order to reach that next level, when you're 4 wins away, it's so easy to say, you know what, we're here, we got here, and let go of the rope a little bit.
But why would you want to put on the blinders? You know what I mean? Like, if you're the Pacers, I actually want to see this. I want this to motivate me. I want to see everybody count me out. Pascal Siakam said it in one of his interviews after the game in the conference finals. He said, we've been the underdog in every series.
Yeah.
Well, here we are again. You're the underdog in the finals. Everyone is counting you out, including me. So take a video, take the clip of me saying that I got OKC winning in 6. That I don't believe that the Pacers could prove me wrong again.
Right. Just take a look back at how exactly the Indiana Pacers got here, because it's pretty remarkable when you look at their season, Chiney. I would describe it as a roller coaster. I don't know about you. They only went 16-18 in their first 34 games of the season, and they headed into 2025 as the 8th seed.
Yeah, and then they turned it. They flipped the switch, because if you think about it, what they were able to do was really sync up offensively. I mean, Pascal Siakam, with every game, with every month, has blossomed to someone we've seen as the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Everyone, they've got shooters everywhere, Malika.
Right. You got Tyrese Halliburton not even being selected as a 2025 All-Star, and he spoke about his struggles, saying, I got caught up in the outside noise. I allowed myself to think negative thoughts about myself internally, and it was the first time in my life I've had real self-doubt. And that's a really vulnerable thing to say, to admit, to tell The Athletic. He said, I feel like my personal struggles were leading to team struggles. But then, UD, once the calendar turned to 2025, things also turned around for Halliburton and the Pacers. They finished the regular season 34-14 since January 1st. That's the 4th best record in the NBA.
Yes, and I love how vulnerable he was. And I think when you talk about that part of it, a lot of times we don't get into what our personal struggles do to our team. And I think the fact that he was able to identify what his personal struggles did for that team, I think it's no coincidence that only he's playing better, but as a unit, they're playing better collectively.
And that brings us to the playoffs, right, where Halliburton carried that momentum. First, you have his Game 5 game winner against the Bucks in round 1, and then you got the step back against the Cavs in Game 2 of round 2, and then, of course, the kind of bounce in the Garden, getting to see the ball drop in the Eastern Conference Finals to force overtime. And when the dust finally settled, Perk, Indiana back in the NBA Finals for the first time since Reggie's Pacers did it 25 years ago. So this really is a season to remember, even if it had twists and turns for Tyrese Halliburton, who spoke just moments ago at Media Day.
I'm excited to be here. Obviously, the finals is a very special thing and something I've wanted to be a part of, my whole life. And so to be here means the world. And I'm just, taking it all in, soaking it all in, and really excited, for this moment. As far as yesterday, we took off, and I slept the whole plane ride, which I don't normally do. And we landed, and I was ready to get up, and they said we were in Tulsa. We sat there for another hour. And then we took off again and felt like we were in the air again for another hour and a half. We didn't land here until time we landed 7, which normally would be 8 back home. So it's a 5-hour travel day. We might as well just travel to Portland or something. But yeah, no, it was a long travel day. But what can you do? You can't. None of us can control the weather. There's worse problems in life. We'll be fine.
So somehow, in case you missed it, the Pacers were diverted because of thunderstorms in the area and a tornado warning in the area. But they got here, they got a good night's sleep, and now they are getting set for this Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I was going to ask you, Chiney, what the Pacers have proven by getting this far. But I have a feeling if I pose that question in the locker room, they would say, we haven't proven anything. We've only proven that we're 4 away.
And that's the right mindset. I mean, talking about weather, they have captured lightning in a bottle. And it is a beautiful thing, this Pacers squad. It shows you that if you have chemistry, synergy, you have an amazing coach, you can win and you have a shot. And I love that Tyrese Halliburton is a selfless type of guy. First of all, he's tired on that flight because he's like, what, let me hibernate. I know this defense is going to come at me. But what you see from their squad is a selfless nature because that's his game. He's the guy that's leading the postseason in assists per game, you guys. And so you look at how he approaches it with vulnerability. Guess what? On the other side of that is accomplishment. And he's showing them he's leading by example.
Yeah, and as much as he's smiling on that podium right now, just understand these guys understand the situation. They understand the assignment. Not a chip. They have a boulder on their shoulder. I was passing by a lot of those guys, and they're sitting there saying, we love this underdog role. We love being an underdog. And like Perk said, don't quiet the noise. Listen to it. And I used to tell all my guys, if you just pay attention to all the interviews and all the media, they'll tell you exactly how they feel about you. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you exactly how they feel about you. You don't have to read between the lines. They'll be honest with how they feel about you. Take that and use it.
I feel like this the NBA Finals of the unknowns, right? Because there's so many matchups, and I'm trying to figure it out, right? You got OKC went 2-0 in the series in the regular season, but Chet didn't play. Yes. Right, and then Pascal Siakam has been a problem, and I'm wondering if Coach Daigneault is going to make an adjustment and switch up his starting lineup and start Chet at the 5, right, so he could add Alex Caruso to the starting lineup. I'm wondering what the Pacers are going to do, who they're going to put on SGA, who's going to be guarding. It's all these, but that's what makes it fun, right? And this is why these teams are here, because none of the other teams that they beat could figure them out. Right. So now you're toe-to-toe with the best of the best. Iron sharpens iron. Who's going to figure who out first? That's why I got so much hope and belief in the Oklahoma City Thunder, because of their defense. And I figured they only take a quarter.
And Shea, you're on the precipice of your first NBA Finals. I imagine it feels kind of like Christmas morning. This is a childhood dream that's realized for you.
Yeah, it's hard to even wrap my head around. Yeah. To know that we're four games away from achieving the ultimate dream as a kid. It's so crazy to be so close, but also like winning 4 games at this stage is very hard and is a far ways away. So just to know like you're close but still a little bit far is like, it's a little bit tricky. It throws you off, but it's been super fun.
Yeah, you have to kind of guard yourself from thinking too far ahead. I know I would struggle with that. I told you that last series. But you've been at the bottom, both at multiple different levels. You've been at the bottom. You've been cut from your JV team when you were in school. You've been on a 22-win team. You've been through the trades and the talks and the rumors. Fast forward to now, how does that put into perspective this moment?
Yeah, it feels good. I think I'm more so just like grateful and appreciative because like I put in the work, I put in the energy, I put in the effort, I do the right things, but like some of the stars have to align. Some of it has to do with a little bit of a luck, right? And some people put in the work and don't get the luck and they don't get to achieve their dreams. And to like, for me to put in the work, control what I can control, but also get my stars to align and have that little bit of luck is a blessing. So I'm really just like super appreciative of my journey and where it's gone.
I get that. I say that to young journalists sort of in a different way all the time when they ask, well, what do I need to do to be successful? And I always say, like, don't think that luck doesn't have a piece of it.
Right.
Luck always has a piece for the most successful people.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about this team. You all are incredibly close-knit, but it goes sort of beyond the on-court interviews that we all see. Lou Dort, he lived with you for a little bit, and you and J-Dub carpool to the airport sometimes. How did that happen?
So COVID had happened. We played in the bubble. That next season, Lou had lived with me, and he had just signed this contract. It was like very low, and then like it all happened so fast. So like he didn't have time to get a place, so he just like lived with me. I had a place, like a few extra rooms, and then like this is the time before like my wife came out, and I didn't have a family. Obviously, I was young, so like I enjoyed the company. So I was like, just stay.
You make him pay rent? Cook dinner?
No. Cook? Nah, we had a
dishes.
Nah, I just had it felt like college. Like it felt like I had a roommate in the NBA, so it was cool. It was fun. Obviously, I helped him out, but he also helped me out in just having like a friend to be there all the time with.
Yeah. And J-Dub, the rides to the airport together?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me just being lazy. He was my rookie at the time, right? So he was just driving me to the airport, and then like through those drives, we got super, super close, and then we just made it a thing.
That's amazing. So do you still do it now? Will you do that through the...
Nah, I let him live now.
You're like, you go do that. You go do that. That's awesome. All season, though, this team has been really measured, particularly towards the beginning of the year. I remember asking questions about the goals of this team, and you all sort of shied away from this idea of our goal is to win a championship. And then that flipped for you. Were you always saying it out loud, and it was sort of like I don't want to jinx our birthday wish by saying it to the world, or how did that work?
I've always thought and believed that, like, to achieve things, you have to, like, say them out loud. You have to embrace them. You can't run from them. You can't hide from them, no matter how big the dreams are. I've got cut from that grade 9 team and was telling everyone I was going to the NBA. Like, and obviously I looked crazy back then, but those people are probably like, wow, he's insane, even more insane today to look at me now. So, like, I always, like, I've never ran from my dreams. I've never ran from my goals. Like, I've always, like, I used to have like a notebook to write down all my goals. I've achieved a lot of them, and I like to think that has a big part to do with it. Like, I embrace them and I go after them, and I'm not scared of them.
Do you still write those goals down?
Less writing, more just like I understand and I know what they are. I had a lot more goals when I was 13, and I've achieved most of them, and now it's just like the last end of the list. But I know what they are, and I remind myself of them every day.
So there's nowhere that NBA Finals winning a championship is written down, and that'll be something that then you can cross off.
Absolutely. It is definitely written down.
Oh, yeah, it's written down. And then maybe in a couple of games you'll be able to cross it off. I'm sure you've been watching. You're a student of the game, the Indiana Pacers. And they have been absurd is the word that I'm going to use in a lot of ways this postseason, because statistically the wins that they have pulled off, usually that's once in a lifetime, and they've done it in every single series. Are you like the rest of us when you're watching them pull off these improbable comebacks thinking, how did this come to fruition?
Yes, absolutely. Like, watching them, honestly, they're super fun. Like, they play a certain way and they don't budge no matter what's going on. And I respect that completely. Like, they have an identity, they have a formula, and no matter who they play, what the stage is, what arena it is, like, they're gonna impose that on their opponent. And that's why they've been really good. Like, they've been every series turns into their series, it looks like, and they attack and they go after what they want, and I think that's why they've been really good, and it's been fun to watch for them.
I got to tell you guys, I've done a lot of these interviews. Shai's just 26 years old. He is so thoughtful, and you can kind of see it reflected as he's processing each question. I didn't mention this to him, but I'll tell you guys, if the Thunder win 4 more games, his 32.7 points per game, it would be the most in NBA history by a player to win a championship that season. The most. Above Michael Jordan, who currently holds that record at 32.6. He has a chance to cap off one of the most impressive seasons we've ever seen, Perk. If he is able to capture that, where does it catapult him in your eyes?
I mean, when I think I'm running out of things to say about SGA. He's that special, real talk. And when I think about him, I think of 2 people. I think of Jordan and I think of Kobe, right? I think about a guy that's 6'6", long arms, right? He's not athletic like Kobe and MJ was, but you know what he do? He finishes around the basket, and he get to that damn mid-range.
Yes, he do.
Second in the regular season in mid-range jump shots, right? First in the postseason, right? So he's brought that identity back to the NBA far as the mid-range, and not we go live by the 3, die by the 3. His footwork is like that. His post game is like that. Long arms. I mean, scratching his ankles while he's standing straight up. That's the only thing I got left to say about this young man is, I just think of those 2 guys, Kobe and MJ.
And those 2 guys are exactly who I think about, because there's been 116 players total that have averaged 30 points per game in the playoffs. 17 of them have been winners. He is on his way to being a winner. A couple of those 17s are Jordan and Kobe. We're talking about in the 14th percentile. He is on his way to doing that. And the thing that really is crazy about it to me is Chet doesn't suffer. Jalen doesn't suffer.
Yeah.
The other guys, as he goes for his 30 and 40, the other guys don't suffer. They feel involved. They feel a part of the game. They can still play to their strengths, so he doesn't take away from what they do by what he does. And I think that's the thing that we don't give enough credit for, is as he goes for his 30 and 40, he takes nothing away from the entire team, and everybody still plays with confidence.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I feel like we should let that process, what Malika just said. We could be watching and witnessing the most dominant championship performance by any player with 4 more wins in SGA. Look at those numbers.
I did. That's why I mentioned Jordan and Kobe.
Yeah.
It did process me.
And we had some quick math over here. When you said 14th percentile, I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
I got my scratch paper.
But like, we're witnessing basketball greatness. 32.7 is his average. Then you win a title, 4 more wins. This is the company that Shai could enter. He has been consistent for the last few years. This is a beautiful category for him. But also, it's not just him, as you guys mentioned. This is a 68-win team.
Yep.
He is second in mid-range points. Everyone that said the mid-range is dead, that the mid-range is gone, no, he has brought that thing, jaws of life, what do you call it? Resuscitated it. Third in points per game off of drives. This is why I say this NBA Finals basketball is back. We're talking about defense. We're talking about adjustments. We're talking about players that say literally we do the right things and you get rewarded. And it seems like this is a moment of destiny for SGA, not just for the season, but potentially for NBA history.
2 things. One, guess what? We're not putting him in this conversation. He put himself in that
He's
conversation.
playing himself.
Yes. I wanted to get that clear for the audience, because they'll be, NBA Today, Shanae, Malika, and UD put him in the conversation. No,
Wait,
he put him in that
yourself,
conversation.
You said Shanae, Malika, and UD. You didn't even say himself.
No, I did.
Okay.
But I was talking about me too. But he put himself in that conversation
Yes,
by his work and his game. So let that be clear.
The one thing I forgot to ask him that I need to make
What's
sure I
up?
do next time is where he ranks the Shea Butter nickname. That
Oh,
this
number
show-
one.
yeah,
Shea Butter.
we're gonna need to make sure that
Smooth
we
like
ask
Shea
him
Butter.
that. Right now, the
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the list,